Hello, good afternoon, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join me on today's show, myself, Port Bear, is GB. How we doing, mate?
Very well, mate. How's that ceiling feeling?
Aye, it's still pretty high, mate. Still climbing off the roof. Throat's fully recovered. Just got my voice back yesterday after Thursday night's, great match. How are you, mate? How are you feeling yourself?
Excited, mate. Really, like yourself, really confident after Thursday night. And again, as we've probably noticed ourselves with the team selection today, we'll get on to that. It's hopefully much more of the same as Thursday night, mate.
Well, I think in regards to the performance on Thursday night, mate, if we play, in my opinion, even 80% to that level, we beat them today, mate. We're a much better footballing side than they are. And if they make a mistake like teams do in Europe and come out and play against us, then we'll punish them, mate. I'm feeling very confident myself. So can you give us a team, mate, and let's get chatting about this team?
Let's go, mate. So today our starting 11 is McLaughlin, Tavernier, Golson, Bassey, Barisic, Lundstrom, Jack, Aribo, Ramsey, Kent and Roof. And the substitutions is McGregor, Balogun, King, Davis, Kamara, Sands, Wright, Arfield, Lowry, Ahmad and Fashion Jr.
So the big talking point, mate, is John McLaughlin starts. Any opinion on that, mate? What's your thoughts?
The first thought that comes to mind is straight away, mate, is an injury to McGregor. But as many people have already said, he's on the bench, so can it be an injury because you wouldn't have the guy on the bench in the first place. So you can only think that he's using McLaughlin just purely for a tactical purpose.
The first thing when I seen it myself, mate, I'd looked at the left-hand side of the screen, so I didn't realise McGregor was on the bench at the time. I just seen McLaughlin and was shocked by that alone. And I thought, right, as I assumed McGregor must be injured. So when I looked over the side and see he was there, I thought, right, is this tactical? Is this purely down to, the distribution that Alan lacks, mate? We all know this. I mean, it's not a hidden fact about Alan McGregor's distribution. We know it's poor. John McLaughlin's very accomplished with his feet and also coming for cross balls, mate. I'm wondering if these two flaws in Alan's game, and probably more of a flaw in his game now that he's 40. I wonder if this is why John McLaughlin's been given the chance to become a sweeper keeper today, if you like.
The manager loves his big calls, Porter. The other night, the other big talking point was Barisic getting his start back in the team. And now the day it's McLaughlin. Probably a lot of heads were turned with Barisic the other night because of the way his form's been and stuff like that. And yet he went out and done an absolute blinder of a performance. And then the day when McLaughlin get put in, personally, mate, I've got no fear about McLaughlin starting the day. I think he's never really had, touch wood, a bad game in a Rangers jersey for me. But the concern is that the team are so settled with McGregor that they are able to communicate and adapt well with McLaughlin being in goal today.
Aye, definitely, mate. I think, if you were going to, I think the team, more or less, for the night on performance, mate, picks itself. I think that's, a lot of people are wondering if he's got to maybe freshen up in a few places, but where can you really freshen up, mate? There will be people that will say, well, that game of any bearing because it went 120 minutes during the week, Thursday night. Will that any bearing on the day? Would there been any change in the squad? I think he's done the right thing, mate, with going a game with consistency. The squad that done it the other night, who showed their, class, showed style, showed great footballing ability, but also showed, Gary, when the going got tough at times, we could dig in, and really battle.
Yep.
So I was glad to see that as well, mate.
And get the result in the end, mate. I mean, a lot of people are saying, Rangers beat that team because they were down to 9 men. But you need to remember, mate, it was Roof's footballing brain that forced a foul on him to get the first guy sent off. And then again, with the second recorded, it was a forced tackle again on, was it Tav? Is that right? Was it Tav? No, Balogun. It was Balogun. It was on Balogun, and again, our players drew that tackle, and then the guy obviously just lost the head and he got sent off. So again, it's a as much as it's about scoring goals, it's a tactical game as well. And end of the day, Rangers played all their cards that night. I think it's, like I say, they've got to just take this into this game of the day, because for me, mate, the battle fever's sitting at 8.25.
Aye. So, who Gary? Who in your opinion today is going to be important in the heat of the battle? You know, who do you expect today to stand up and be counted?
Well, mate, I mean, probably our biggest January signing is that man Aaron Ramsey. The other night I had the pleasure of actually able to see him in the flesh and blood playing, and I tell you, the TV doesn't give him credit, mate. Very, very important the day that we allow him to get on the ball and create. As much as we've got a lot of talent in that team, I think Ramsey the other night there was, I mean, at times, Port, I don't know about yourself, I seen Ramsey with two guys around him, but he was still able to get out a hole and find a pass, and it actually created a chance, if you know what I mean. He's always looking to play, and I think at one point I actually seen him nearly in the defence, and then I turned my head and he was up next to the roof. So the boy knows how to move, and I think to be honest, the Hampden Park will be good for him. It's a bigger park, should have a lot of space for him today. And again, just has to show his talent, buddy, for me. What about yourself?
No, I think, in my opinion, it's a game again like today. I mean, Ryan Kent has been mentioned on this show many times about his output. We don't ever question his ability on the ball and his dribbling ability, but we do question his, ability when it comes to assists and his goal ratio, which we all feel he could contribute more. But in these games, mate, as we all know, he turns up. He turns up against this team time and time again. So I'm expecting Ryan Kent today to have a good game. Joe Aribo as well, mate. And I hope Connor Goldson kicks on for the other night, because I thought he was outstanding against Braga the other night, mate. He won majority of his duels in the air. He won a majority of his duels in the deck. And he was a real calming influence at the back the other night. And then obviously with Tav's form, mate, Tav's really bang on form right now. I think somebody touched on it the other night when I was listening to the show, but saying a lot of our players seem to be hitting form at the right time. And I think it's a great point he makes. But in regards to the team, mate, it's a similar team to the other night. I mean, McLaughlin starting, but will it be the same tactics?
It'll be. I think it will, mate. I think it suited them. I think there was a nice balance the other night. I don't know if you noticed that they all seemed to communicate well. Players moved in and out of position as and when they were defending and attacking. I mean, to say that we quietened a team like Braga for the full night is quite a statement, to be honest, mate. Braga are a top side, and if we're able to nullify them, then again, what we're asking for the day is more of the same. And I take your point on Ken. It could be again one of these days where it turns up with a wonder goal that could win, is it? And to be honest, these kind of cup semi-finals and stuff like that, it's usually something crazy like that that decides the game, the outcome. So we're probably going to need one of these guys, Kent, Ramsey, Aribo, to pop up with a bit of genius today, I think, mate.
Aye, definitely, mate. Small margins, I always say in these games, small margins are a moment of brilliance that you're touching on. But I think we should get these phone lines open, mate. What do you think?
Yeah, desperate to hear for the Bears. Let's get these in.
Right. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, just join the show, guys, and get involved. Let's hear your thoughts and about the team, etc. Be glad to hear yous. You just touched on Ryan Kent there, guys like Ramsey and that, Gary. In regards to finals and semi-finals gone past, I remember guys like, Peter Lovenkran's final, the Barry Ferguson free kick in the final, Bert Cotterman in the semi-final of the League Cup when he scores that 40-yard screamer. I mean, these guys, Bert Cotterman in particular, wasn't adored by the Rangers fans. But I'll tell you, after that goal, mate, in the semi-final, he's doing in folklore. And I think a lot of these players should be sitting the day and thinking, they've created history with people stopping the 10 and all that carry on, Gary, winning 55, etc. But some of these guys need to go and create their own legacy and their own history at Rangers. And what a better way to do it against their biggest rivals in Hampden today. I think these players have got to grab every opportunity to make with both hands, get Rangers to their first final since 2013, so 2009, and go and seize the moment, mate, and create their own history with Rangers. What do you think?
I think one of the guys that probably stands out for that the day Port would be Big John Lundstrom. He's starting to become a bit of a hero amongst the support. The other night there, I seen him walking around and he was singing. I seen him singing the Blue Sea Ibrox and stuff like that. That guy has got a fearsome shot on him, as he's proved. Had a cracking game the other night. So I mean, create your wee mini bit of history. Lundstrom wasn't there last year, so he's probably craving a wee bit of either silverware or something that he can walk away with this season. And what a day it would be if he turned up with the same performances the other night and he bagged the winning goal in the Old Firm.
It'd be superb, mate. I think one thing that pleased me with John Lundstrom the other night was his ability to organise. And when I saw him getting ripped into poor fashion, I think Fashion was trying to run down the tunnel, mate, if I'm honest. But it was great. I like to see that, mate. I like to see that because at the time, Fashion was to come on and stretch a game and try and get in behind, but he was coming deep when John Lundstrom let him know. And I like to see that, mate. I like to see more than one captain on it. I mean, there is only one captain, that's James Tavernier. But if you think other guys that play other positions that can, marshal and, make sure people are pulling their weight and playing their game, I think it's good to see over the park that we've got many guys that look like they want to win. And I think that's what Lundstrom showed the other night. He's a winner and he wants to win, mate. He doesn't like to lose. So he was letting them know. So that's another thing he's added to his game I didn't see before up until the other night. And I'm glad he's stepping up, mate, definitely.
It's a total surprising position that we find John Lundstrom in, mate. Now, I never ever thought that when we signed him that he was going to be in the position he is now. But my God, has he found his feet in a Rangers jersey? Because it's quite smart in a sense, because you've got a player there that can actually play like higher up the midfield. Oh, someone's come in there, mate.
I think we'll be joined for Andy for Leeds. How we doing, Andy?
How you doing? The young team.
We're tearing it up in here, Andy. You should see the state of this studio.
Listen, see when I get up and see you, I'll be tearing something up with these hats. The colour of my hats are changing all the time here. Well, same team bar the keeper. If he's not injured, I find that surprising. I can get the logic of it because he'll come off his line if his crossball's going in. But the way that Gio's kind of backed him all the time, when questions have been asked, when he's made a couple of mistakes, I would imagine the Shagger would be fizzing and all if he's no injury. So that could, in a daft kind of way, possibly cause a bit of unrest, if you get what I mean. But we must get through this and we'll worry about that after the case. But I find that a strange one, I really do. Big games, he tends to stand up, doesn't he, right enough, But I've got no fear about the keeper coming in. I think he's assured, isn't he? And the team's the same, right enough. I think the momentum should still be there with what we did on Thursday night. It should be non-needed anyway, playing them. So hopefully going forward, we set about them. What we do in all firm games, in my opinion, is when we have the dominant time, we must score in them periods. That's when you win and lose these games. So that's what we take on that. So I'll let you reply to me on that then.
I think in regards to what you're saying, I think we have to be more clinical, Andy. I think that's been a problem since Gio come in. We've not been clinical enough at times. There's times like the other night. Thursday's a great example. You would have been out of the realms of possibility to be up 3-0 or 4-0 that first half against Braga, mate. That would have been a shock to me. But we're not clinical enough, and there was times even against that mob, the last game at Ibrox, where the second half and we absolutely battered them. And again, we couldn't get that breakthrough. We weren't clinical enough in the box, mate. Yeah. But I think, sorry, on you go.
Yeah, I think what they did in the last game, they didn't play at a real strength, and you're going to pump big balls in on their two big guys at the back there. We're never going to get any joy. If you're looking at our games, we're getting plenty of possession and all that. You said to Shuggs before we come on earlier that you know, when you look at the chances we're making and all that, we should be scoring 4 and 5 goals a game, because a hell of an amount of chances that we're making in every game, isn't it? So we need to be more clinical and play to our strength, you know, instead of just pumping balls in. That was shown, although he one chopped off, didn't he, and he one hit the bar, and he got his goal in it. So if you put the ball, you know, along the box and all that, to his strength, I've no doubt he'll be on the end of some of them. Hopefully, you know, that gets us through to where we need to go, and then, you know, the season can really take off, couldn't it, you know?
Definitely, mate, definitely. Gary, you want to give the team out again? People join us all the time, mate.
Yeah, mate. So our starting 11 is McLaughlin, Tavernier, Golson, Bassey, Barisic, Lundstrom, Jack, Aribo, Ramsey, Kent, Roof. And the substitutions is McGregor, Balogun, King, Davis, Kamara, Sands, Wright, Arfield, Lowry, Ahmad, and Fashion Jr.
Superb. As I said, in regards to the John McLaughlin thing, Andy, I think purely for, you know, coming for cross balls, I think that's one of the things that we've all been critical of Alan on this. But also, I think it was important with John at the back as well. His distribution, Andy. I think he's an excellent goalkeeper with his feet.
Well, he's never let us down, has he?
No, definitely not, mate. Good shot stopper as well. But I think, see with the acting like a sweeper keeper, being that guy that can take the ball comfortably and build from the back. You know, even when maybe he go long at times, the Andy up to the halfway line, he would find it accurate. There's a lot of times where Alan puts it out of the park, and it's not a criticism, guys. It's just it's an observation I've made Alan over the years, that his distribution's not been the greatest. So I'm wondering if that's the idea of the gaffer, just to play a wee bit longer today into the halfway line, rather than go short all the time at the back. So, as I said, I think, although it might be the same team, what do you think, Andy? Do you think it'll be tactically the same as Thursday night, or do you think maybe a few wee tweaks there?
No, I think he'll just go the same. I mean, because the way we started on there in the first half there, we just pummeled them, didn't we? From every angle. That's the way I'd like to see us go. We need to push them back in the back foot. If we push them back in the back foot, then we'll see how good they really are. I mean, they like to come with intensity, but if we take that away from them and put them on the back foot, let's see how they cope at the back there. If we play our tactics right, you know, along the front line there, and if we do that, we should be okay. We just hope we're going to turn up. But there should never be an incentive. I mean, they're bumping their gums again, aren't they? What they're going to do, and that's like, you know, let's get them sorted. You know what I mean? Like you say, we dominated that, but we didn't dominate it if you get that last game there right enough. You know, I think if Kent had scored that second goal, I think it would have been a different scenario. But you know, hindsight and all that is brilliant, and it's not about that. I know it's about a day at 2:00. Get right into them and let's sort them out. And it could be a great week for us, couldn't it? And then going forward, we can take it from where it needs to go.
I think it could be massive. Yep, I think it could be massive, Andy. It's only my opinion. I think the humbling we got at their park, and then, you know, the 2-1 defeat at Ibrox.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know, I think it's got a point to prove there today, Pot, and I've just said to Shug again before the game. See, the way Barnes has absolutely bottled it in that last one, he might just be the key with the crosses and all that, because he's got a point to prove in his own heat. And he was saying he wasn't happy about being dropped there a week or so ago. So he might just, you know, for all the hammer he took after that last one up there, he might be the one that just turns around and puts the vital crosses in that gets us away, you know. Plus you've got two people on set pieces and not Tavernier taking everything. So that's a good thing as well, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. That's what I was just commenting, mate. I think there's a few players it's almost like a redemption game, Andy. There's a few players from the last two games, that should be out for redemption, in my opinion. So, you know, you get in, you leave everything on the pitch, blood, sweat, tears, snotters, the whole lot gets left in the pitch at the Andy. No excuses. We go out there and we show this team. We finally put them back in their place. And I'm telling you, Andy, psychologically, this could flip the season. Don't know what you think, Gary, yourself. I think this could flip the season. For all of a sudden, this year's riding off into the sunset, into the semi-final of the Europa Cup, into the final of the Scottish Cup, and finally put a wee bit of seed of doubt in their minds. All of a sudden, they're looking over their shoulder because we're gathering momentum at the right time. What do you think, Gary?
I think the negative
On you go, Andy. What do you think?
Say that again. I missed that. I dipped out there a minute.
I think he just dipped out. He just dipped out a wee minute. So No, what I was saying is the momentum and redemption that we're gathering to finally go and get a big positive result today.
Well, I said that the other night, Paul. I generally look, the league's gone now, if we'll be honest. You know what I mean? But we not beat these today. And like you say, put the doubt there. Gets us into the final. They just slip up in one game, then we go up with the Pedo Dome. Strange things happen. We never thought we'd get an LA Cup to Sunday, did we? You've got to keep believing until it's mathematically impossible. I never get in them anyway. We could be 20 behind. You're not getting into them, to the fat lady thing. So,
100%.
Today, get out there and get stick in them. I want to see Rangers players stick a bit on them as well, right enough. I know you can't touch people these days, but back in that day when I watched the old firm games, you stuck one on them and you let them know, and then that set the trend for the rest of the game. So Rangers get in there, put the first big tackle on, and then we're letting them know that, right, we're here, and we're here for the 90 minutes plus whatever injury time there is, and we're coming for you, and that's what we need to do. Get the first big tackle on there today, let them know.
I think we'll be joined by Jim. You there, Jim?
Aye. All right, guys. Lovely to speak to you again. How you doing, guys?
Hi, Jim.
Right. Looking for a good comfortable 2-0 a day. I mean comfortable. Right. When they came out Ibrox, the park to bus for the last 45 minutes, you'll probably find they'll do that today. But I think we may have better firepower up front today after Thursday night's performance. I'm quite comfortable, right? I'm not surprised with John McLaughlin, because John McLaughlin been playing in the Cups anyway. I wasn't surprised with him playing in goals today. And plus, who cares? We don't care who plays in goals, because John McLaughlin's every bit as good as Al McGregor. Al McGregor's he's no let the hell on fire this season, has he? I'm glad to see Big John get his chance today playing the Cup. Give him a medal team we win the Cup.
I agree, Jim. In regards to John McLaughlin starting, do you think it's tactical, Jim, or do you purely think it's due to he's just getting the cup games?
No, I think that's been what Gio's been doing with him. Playing him in the cup games. I don't think you could drop him today. I don't think it would have been fair to play Al McGregor today, because John's been playing in the cups. Aye, it's been a harsh decision for me saying, no, you're not playing today, John. We're going to stick with the team that played on Thursday. I think Gaffer did the right thing. Keep Big John in for the cup games.
Gary, I was just saying to Andy, in regards to a result against us, a positive result that Jim's touching on, a real shot in the arm result. Does that plant seed in their minds for the rest of the season as Rangers continue to gather, the momentum in the Europa Cup semi-final and then go to the final of the Scottish Cup?
100%. This is what's probably been lacking a wee bit. There's not been a bit of heat on them. There's not been any negativity kind of surrounding them. It was at the start of the season, and that's when you see them offy shaky, just because of their results and stuff like that. And again, probably like today, if it's a perfect dominant performance for Rangers, it could be a great performance and we still just win 1-0, but it's still enough to kind of, like you say, plant a bit of doubt or create a wee bit of negativity across the road, because that's all it takes. All it takes is, in positive thinking terms, a couple of draws for them, and again another Old Firm win for us in the league. Then it's all to play for again, mate. And again, I think Andy touched on it when he came on the phone. He says that the form now that we're in, we're propelling now. We're on the up rather than going on the down. So it'll be again a very important game. Very important game, mate.
Look, always looking for callers. Can we ask for callers again, guys? Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from
you. Jim, I touched on earlier on with Gary. I'll ask you this as well, Andy. There's been a few guys from previous, semi-finals and finals who've went and, their names are in folklore for the rest of their lives. Bert Cotterman, Peter Livingston, Barry Ferguson come to mind, right? This squad that we know has got talent. We know has got match winners. You know, there's players that we love watching. Is there any players today that's going to step up in your eyes and make, you know, take that step to write their own history, their own legacy at Rangers, to be there for folklore forevermore? Andy?
Well, you'd like to think any one of them could do it. I think Ramsey, he seems to be coming in a little bit. He could stand up there and, you know, be pivotal. But see, if it's tight, I've got this wee feeling a wee bit Lowry's going to come on and score a winner. That would be brilliant, eh? That might be my vodka drinking, by the way, Gary. Partly. You never know, do you? But no, look, anyone that stands up today, you know, they all know the magnitude of this game. I'll tell you, I said something again to Shugs there. I'll still Tavernier, you know, I've been critical of the past. He seems to really just grown up as a captain. Some of his speeches in the last, you know, he was very laid back in that one, but there was a determination in that last interview there. Saying, you know, do you notice he was actually saying "my players" and "my fans"? There's like a pennies drop there, isn't there? You know, and his performances of late. You know, I mean, the goal he scored there on Thursday night, he'd no right to get that. I mean, that's, you know, he's a right back, and you know the keeper thinks he's going to go straight at him at the post, and he goes straight across him. That's great thinking in the heat of a battle like that straight away. So maybe he really is growing into it now. Unfortunately, you know, he's at the wrong side of 30 now, isn't he? So I wish he'd have picked that up 2 or 3 years ago, but I really am. I've been critical, but I'll put my hands up there. I like how he's talking, and I like what he's doing. I love that when he said that my players and my fans. And that's what a captain is, isn't it? That's what a John Gregg would have done. You know, that's who, you know. So good on him, and you know, I'll speak where I'll be honest where I see things, and up to press now. And I just got a funny feeling like he's got a lot of battle scars in, so it could be a great day for him to lead his team, you know, into a final of the Scottish Cup this season. And hopefully that's what happens.
Jim, anybody for you today that's going to step up, and you know, who's the match winners in your eyes today in the squad?
Well, I've got my bets on. I've got us to win. And I've also got a Big Corner to score in 90 minutes, right? Because Big Corner gets up there Thursday night, I think he hit the post and hit the bar. But listen, this isn't a day for heroes. This is a day for getting through this tie. The heroes can be made in the final. That is my opinion of the day. Let's get through this. They seem to think they've got the Indian sign over us. Okay, let them think that. That's a different day. You know. That's the semi-final of the Scottish Cup, and I hope we're up for it. It's about time we won some silverware.
I've got to admit, Jim, we should be doing better in domestic, you know, trophies. What I'm hoping to do, this is the start of it. This is the start, Jim. I think this squad is growing together, and like Andy, you know, touched on earlier on, there's certain players that seem to, maybe the pennies finally dropped, or people also say maybe they're starting to get it now. You know, I'm going to make a special mention to John Lundstrom as well. It looks like he's finally adapted and settled into being a Rangers player, guys. I don't know what you think.
Big John's took his time to settle down. It looks as if he has settled down now. He knows what he's doing. I don't know what his tactics were, what his instructions were when they signed him at first. But he wasn't really doing it for anyone. But he's doing it now, and I'm glad to see it. The selection, the team selection today, starting 11 today, I think most of us would have chosen that selection, if we're all honest about it. You know, this seems to be the Gio's first choice starting 11. You know, so I'm happy with the starting 11. Listen, we get better players all over the pitch. I don't think we get interfered today.
No, but certainly if you look at the front, you know, Kamar Roof, Ryan Kent, Aaron Ramsey, Joe Aribo, and then I add Borna Barisic and James Tavernier there. You know, it's some attacking prowess, guys. There's definitely goals in that team today. You know, and it's very, very attack-minded. To me, it looks like we're going to go at them. You know, and we've also got obviously Jack and Lundstrom as your stealing midfield, but both of them are very, very capable players as well. What do you think of the attacking front four, Gary?
Oh, mate, it's the strongest it's probably been for a long time, apart from obviously Lucy and Alfredo. But, I mean, we've probably brought in Roof, who's came into a bit of form bang at the right time. Again, Andy touched on it. He's just not being at the service, and that's where Barisic will be key today, mate. I think if that big man puts in the same performance he did on Thursday night, take a wee bit of the onus off Tav for the corners and all that, because even Barisic was up whipping them in the other night there, which was allowing Tav to be in the box to get the goals. You know what I mean? So, like, obviously, when the onus is all on Tav, he's having to do everything. He's not getting that kind of attacking threat. Whereas, like I says, when you've got an on-form Barisic, help me out, like, say, a Roof, like with the perfect cross or whatever, then that's what we need today. We definitely need them to be on the money. We can't have these kind of first balls just going direct back to a Celtic player, because what will happen is they'll just go and hit us. They'll just, as soon as the ball's lost, and it's going to be a full on attack against us. So we need to be switched on today. And if we're going to put in, like I say, deadly crosses, then players are going to have to be switched on. But again, I think it's a day for Roof. He's walking with a bit of swagger today. He's been walking with a bit of swagger recently. His interviews have kind of shown that as well, that he's hungry for it, and he's wanting to be honest, mate, I think he's trying to show that he's wanting to be the number one striker. That will come down to obviously fitness and injuries, but at the end of the day, I think if he's wanting to hold on to that shirt, he's got to go out there today and score some more goals for us.
Andy?
Here, Gary. Oh. See if Borna Barisic turns up today. Right, if he turns up today and Kent turns up big time, which he usually does against Celtic anyway, I think we're home free. Because Borna's been a bit of a worry for us for most of this season. But he has turned into a bit of form. A bit of form at the correct time of the season, I may add. If he turns up today, I see a problem. We don't got a problem today.
Mate, I think that's what we've been missing. You know what I mean? We've been missing the Borna Barisic 55, to be honest, mate. Because Barisic was banging in free kicks and everything. And it's no... Like I says, Bassey's a well and capable player in that position as well, but I think Barisic has just got the wand. I mean, he's got that left foot wand that he can just put the ball right and tap a Roof's head. And I can hopefully see that happen today, buddy.
Andy?
Yeah, Barisic, as I said earlier, does right enough. He's great going forward for the crosses. I mean, all he needs to do is just read his man at the back today, and then the rest will take care of himself if he's doing that. So I'm pretty sure he'll put 2 or 3 decent balls in there, and the right balls, that the right part of the ground and the right in the area for Roof, hopefully to attack and do the damage with. Up top, all 3 of them up top, we've all got goals in them on the day. But like Jim said there, and we've all said, we turn up, it shouldn't be a problem. And I think if Rangers do turn up, we'll throw them out of the side. We've not really played well against them all season, let's be honest. Even the one at the start with the COVID carry on. So they owe the cell as well as the fans a good performance against these. And I'm pretty sure if we could, get into them, that would throw them out of their stride. So hopefully that's what's going to be. There's no incentive needed today. None of it. We all know, and they players know now. They should do. They're on the verge of. Don't look like we're going to win the league, but they're on the verge of, a final of Europe, final of Scottish Cup. But once you're in those finals, you can win them, can't they? Some double that, I mean, still disappointed if we don't win the league. But if we went on to win the UEFA Cup, or whatever it's called now, we're in the Champions League anyway. So you'd forgive them for that year, wouldn't you? And then we build to make sure we win the league next year. But that's how I'm looking at this one now. You're at semi-final stages. You're only one step away from doing what you need to do. So there should be no incentive at all. Just get out there and do the job. Doesn't matter who we play, just sort it. Get them sorted. You know what I mean? Let them fear us for a change instead of worried about what they're going to do to us.
Totally agree with you, Andy. I think in regards to you're touching on us breaking their stride, I think that's majorly important today. We can't afford to let them come on to us. They've come on to us in the first halves, the Parkhead game and the Ibrox game. I mean, we totally agree with that, because if we blow up today, Paul, what you've got is that'll be 3 times now, and that whether we've got better players or no starts to play with your heat, doesn't it? So we must make sure we go out there and sort them out today. It's Gio's first
Sorry
trip
for talking
to Hampden.
over you there.
No worries, mate. It's Gio's first trip to Hampden, guys. as manager. So, you know, I think it's important he gets it right today as well. And I think going by his team selection, he's been brave with the keeper situation right away. He's been brave, I think, with, you know, giving Bonner his start. It'd been so easy today to put, you know, Bassey back to left back and bring Balogun back in. It'd been so easy to do that today, in my opinion. But he's stuck by and he showed a bit of faith in the team for Thursday night. And then also the big decision in John McLaughlin, which I think's excellent. I think it'll prove pretty positive today from a, you know, distribution point of view. Kamal Roof, guys, I think in regards to the way he's been playing as of late, I think if you watch the way Ramsey, Kent and Aribo have been getting closer to him, so rather than play, you know, miles apart from him, I think it's been dead important that we've got players close to him. So he's got, you know, somebody playing off him, someone playing beside him, where they can, you know, play 1-2s, etc. How big is Kamal Roof going to be today, Gary?
Absolutely massive, mate. I'll try and keep it short and sweet, but for me, Roof's the key, along with Barisic. If we get the service into Roof, we've seen the other night there, like you said, Port, I think you said at the start of the show, Roof technically should have had another hat-trick the other night there. He's just looking up for it now, and I think he's enjoying his time back in the team. And Roof's one of these players, I think he's always needed consistency of games. See if he's had a run of games, he usually does get in about it. And I mean, if I bet him, I don't know if Jim's got he said about his bet, but if he's got Kamal Roof on as a first goal scorer, it wouldn't be far wrong, because the big man's on form, and like I says, I'm loving how he's approaching the games now.
Gary, if he gets the service 10 yards out, I'll look for Ramsey, Big Joe and Ryan Kent to give him the service. If he gets the service, he will put the ball in the back of the net. He will do that. And let them worry about us. We don't need to worry about it at the end of the day. Let them do the worrying this afternoon.
You're here, mate. Andy, Kamal Roof?
Yeah, well, as I say, I mean, as I said last week, he's a character. If we can keep him injury-free and you service him properly, he'll score goals. My only fear is, as I said last week, was that I'm not convinced that Gio fancies him long-term, but it's not about long-term. It's about getting us to the end of the season, and he's going to be our main striker, injury-free. But hopefully he's going to be the man that gets us the goals. But also, obviously, we need Aribo and Kent. I mean, see when Kent's having these shots and all that, and he's missing, you can see that he wants, you know, the ground wanting to open up for him. If he could just get one of their goals, he might just come right at the little remainder of these games we've got. He just needs to get one in the rig in there, and he might settle down. You know, maybe he's over trying. You know, I don't know. But as Jim said earlier on there, 9 times out of 10 he usually does turn up against them. So let's hope he does. If he turns up there, then he's going to cause him damage, isn't he? Because I don't care what anybody says, right? I don't watch them, as you know, but they're not a very good defence. And it's about Rangers using the savvy around about them and sorting them out and get them on the back foot. There won't be a problem then. If we've got the shooting boots on, hopefully we'll have a great day.
If you go on form, Andy, like you're touching on there, you know, we've got guys that are coming onto form, and it all seems to be a group of players that, you know, were definitely out of form and weren't producing, you know, the numbers that they were. You've got like Tav, Bassey came onto great form, and you know, before the African Nations, he started and he's kicked on from there. Joe Aribo sort of lost it, but he's getting his form back now. Aaron Ramsey seems to be finally finding his feet and getting fitter. John Lundstrom and obviously Kamal Roof. There's a wee nucleus of players there. See the Aribo
one though, Paul. He's coming onto his game, like you said, with the early Africa. Something happened there with him that, you know, knocked him back a ways. What I liked about him was when a couple of interviewed this guy, he'd come out and he'll tell you, "No, I've been playing key here. I've got to do better." But he's never really turned up in an Old Firm game. So I'm hoping today is going to be his day. You know, because you can't get him off the ball when he's really on it, can you? You know, so if we can get him doing that a day, there's lots of permutations here. If our players turn up, we're going to be all right. But it's whether they turn up into it. That's the big question.
Gary, what do you think of the nucleus of players that seem to be hitting the form at the right time? And if we can get Ryan Kent to join that pack,
it would be beautiful, mate, wouldn't it? If you can get Kent I mean, Kent has been on form in a sense. I mean, his display against Dortmund was unreal. It's just unfortunately our league kind of dampens him a bit. But overall, going into this semi-final today, we've got a team on form. So for me, mate, there's no excuses. Go out and do the exact same thing you done Thursday night. Control the game, press when you need to, and do nice long balls like say Golson did the other night there up into the roof. Cause them to make a mistake and cause us to get in there and either get a goal, get a man sent off, or get the Rangers penalty.
Aye, indeed, mate. Can I get a few wee last words for you guys in regards to scores and scorers? Actually, Gary, I've got you first.
I'll go Kemar Roof for one, and I'll take John Lundstrom for a second. So 2-0 overall for Rangers today.
Superb. Andy?
Jack and Ruth, and then if it's 2-0 up, I think Lowry will come on and just tickle him, for the last goal. There you go.
I'll do me, mate. Jim?
Bring it on.
I've got my bet on. I'm going to win 2-0, guys. And I've got goals to score within 90 minutes. The goals are a big bet today. He's due a goal. He's due to score a goal.
Aye, definitely, mate.
And who else, Jim?
That Golson, I'm just no. I don't care who scores. As long as Golson scores within 90 minutes, we win 2-0. I'm home free. I'm taking them all. Off.
But I'm going to go for a Roof double today, guys. 2-0. I think we're going to far too much room, in my opinion, guys. Today, I think we're flying across the wave here, and I think we're finally going to put the dagger in their heart. And I'm telling you, don't write this league off yet, Andy. Don't write this league off yet. We have not planted a seed about them.
When it comes to import, I never write myself off anyway. So I've never been brought up that way, and I'll die that way. Don't worry about it. I did a crazy bet for I got, believe it or not, I went on the crazy. I went 4-1, 4-2, 4-3 for us, and I got 100 to 1 for every one of them. So come on, I'll take the 4 today.
It's all secret.
Lowry better turn up for you, mate.
Listen, I'll send you a pink hat up and a bottle of vodka if that comes in, pal. I'll tell you.
I'll tell you this, guys. Gio has covered his work today. He's got a good bench just in case it goes pear-shaped.
Yeah. Aye, indeed, aye. It's a strong bench, mate. You've still got likes of Davis, Kamara, Fashion on the Arfield, as Andy touched on earlier on. With Balogun's there as well, obviously McGregor and young Lowry. Fashion's there. So we've got pace, we've got power, we've got, sheer determination, and obviously the class of Stephen Davis. Fine vintage that he is. So he might have a part to play there, guys. I totally agree with you, Jim. Can I just thank all the callers that's phoned in today, Andy and Jim? Thank you very much, guys.
Welcome.
Can I thank Gary for being my buddy on the show as always? Thank the technical guys in the back, Fox and Old School Blue. And we're going to go on and beat Rangers 2-0, Kamar Roof double, and we're going to the final to join my semi-final. Thanks very much for everybody listening in today. Take care, and we'll join you 15 minutes after the full time whistle. Thank you, and goodbye.
All the best, guys. Are you ready?
There were cheers from the crowded congregation as the light blew the mirrors beneath the stand, to the sound of the very latest music that was played by the Government Borough Band. The excitement was tense, the game was starting as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. For the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other team but Rangers and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes who play in red, white and blue and Dunbar go. The excitement was tense, the game was starting, as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. But the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other team but Rangers, and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes, who play in red, white and blue, and none will go. Who play in red, white and blue, and none will go.